today the topic that we'll be discussing, and today is actually the day 4 of our 30-day live challenge. So today's topic would be all about finding your voice online. Okay, how you can actually find your voice online. We'll be discussing about that. So how many of you actually think of introverts जो हैं, introverted entrepreneurs? I'm actually talking to them. How many of you actually think of speaking online is very difficult, is very much complicated? How many of you think like that? Type like complicated in the chat box if that's actually the scenario. Yeah, I see in the chat box introvert or complicated. Okay, I see in the chat box. Love to actually know that. Okay, so the thing is, today I will be uncovering the things that can actually help you in terms of making it uncomplicated rather than you think it is actually complicated. But beforehand, I will be discussing about the mindset part too. Like some of you actually think of who actually say that it is complicated. You might be think of this thing goes inside your head that you are actually not confident enough. You didn't speak anywhere. So what we will be thinking of me? You are not worthy enough. Okay. So these actually things that, if I'm not wrong, these actually things goes inside your head continuously. So it's like a tape recorder, right? So how to actually overcome that, and particularly if we talk about this part, most importantly, the thing that need to be understood is how you can actually speak with clarity and confidence, with a synergy, so that people can actually listen. So we'll be discussing about that. Mainly, the thing is, it's not like to become someone else. It's not of becoming me. It's all about becoming the best version of you. Okay, because this is actually the possible thing. So we'll be exploring and uncovering that part. So let me actually discuss more things, that how you can actually find your voice, and how before moving forward towards finding your voice online, you have to first understand yourself as well. Understand your abilities as well. Understand your core strengths as well. What are your core strengths? Core strengths. Okay. What are the tasks that you do easily? So while doing that, taking action in a appropriate way, will be coming to that in the session. You'll be finding your voice. Let's do this. Okay. So the first topic that I would like to actually uncover in this particular session is how you can actually find your tone, energy, and pace. If I'm actually saying finding your voice, what do I mean by that? I mean by, like, how you can actually find your tone, your pace, your energy, how you can actually do that. So there are a couple of things that you need to actually remember. First of all, I see a lot of people when they're actually speaking up, they are rushing things. Let me know if that happens to you. You are rushing things, and you are actually in such a kind of a fight or flight response that you don't know what you're saying. If that's actually the scenario, type RT in the chat box. If that's actually the scenario that you rush up things, then type RT in the chat box. Let me know who actually rushed things up. And don't worry, I was also be there. Okay, I also been there. Things were actually not like going straight in my life too, but I worked on it, and we're giving you some of the tips that can really help you. Okay, so thing is like whenever you are actually speaking up, whenever you are actually in a kind of state to speak either on stage, online, slow down, slow down. And if I'm actually saying this slow down, some people will be thinking like, what are you talking about? Okay, it's better to speak at your own pace, in your own tone, in your own synergy rather than copying someone. Some people say that my accent is different from their accent, like the foreigner accent, like XYZ accent. Doesn't matter. Okay? Your accent is your culture. Your accent is your, like, tells, like, where are you from, basically. Okay? It tells your nationality, basically. So we can't really change that in particular, but we can work on the tone, the energy, the pace. Okay, so how to actually do that? I'm coming towards that stuff, and that is, first of all, understand yourself, like what tone, energy, or pace is suitable for you as well as for your audience. Okay, and then whenever you're actually speaking, try to record yourself, like how you have spoken. Okay, and then assess it. Where is actually the problem? Is that something I missed in tone, energy, or pace? Okay, so this is something that really need to be understood. Now, by tone, what I mean by tone is like, what are you doing? This is a hard tone. Okay, it shows like I'm actually angry. What are you doing? What tone, this tone suggests you that I'm curious person, I'm more into learning more about you, right? So this is actually the scenario. If we talk about the tone, energy means the first one. When I was actually saying, what are you doing, I was actually in a different state of energy. Okay, like when I was actually saying, what are you doing, in a very calm and polite tone, the energy is actually flowing accordingly. Is also calm as well. So this is the thing that you need to actually look into. If we are clear so far, type TE in the chat box. Like, we are clear about the tone and energy, type TE in the chat box. Now coming towards the pace. The pace would be like, what are you doing? Okay. And if we talk about the, like, in a proper way, what are you doing? See the pace. There is actually the pace you can actually, like, we link it with the speed as well. Okay, the rate of speed of words by your mouth when you're actually speaking, so you need to actually correlate with that stuff. Okay, so that is actually about pace. If I actually talk about, so talk in a polite, simpler, easier, and maintain the flow while you're actually speaking to the people. And first, whenever you're actually speaking to the audience, first try to actually understand the audience. What is actually the level of the audience? Is that like you're talking to executives, talking to kids, talking to entrepreneurs, talking to whom? Okay, talking to parents, whom? Okay, so you need to actually understand your audience, and then you have to set your tone, energy, and pace as per the agenda. I hope this point is actually pretty much clear. If that is actually clear, type TEP in the chat box. If you're actually clear about the tone, energy, as well as pace. Okay, hopefully I'm actually speaking. You can actually hear me because I actually worked a lot on this again on this mic. This is, like, again, an expensive mic, but I guess now the, like, the voice issue is actually pretty much resolved. Let me know about that. So coming towards the second point that I would like to actually elaborate, and that is, start where you feel comfortable. Start where you feel comfortable. So what I mean by that, we all have comfort zones in our life. Okay, we all sometimes stuck in our comfort zones. So this there is actually a question: should we don't have a comfort zone in our life, or should we be uncomfortable at all times. I would suggest that if you need to grow, you have to be uncomfortable. You have to break that comfort zone, and then you have to work on yourself in order to actually expand that zone. There are two ways that I can actually elaborate this part. One way is to break your comfort zone or take uncomfortable actions to be comfortable. Another one is like expand your comfort zone. The both are actually aligned to the same thing that I'm actually trying to portray. So start where you feel comfortable. So most of the people who, if they are entrepreneurs, if they are introverted entrepreneurs, they're mostly likely they're having qualities. And mind me on this, every person actually have qualities. Okay, it's all about how much we have actually explored ourselves. So it literally depends upon person to person. Some of the people are actually good in writing. Some of the people are actually good in speaking. Like so it's all about the mental muscles you are actually trained. So if I talk about the start where you feel comfortable, I mean, like if you are comfortable with writing, then that's really good. You can write down the posts. If you're talking online, if you're actually coming to the social media world, don't try to jump in for doing sessions or recording videos of 1 hour at once. Okay, it will be hectic, boring, and you won't be taking action. Only one time you will be taking action, and another time then like when you're actually having another chance to do that stuff, you won't be actually able to do that. So what is the right way to look into is like, if you're comfortable with writing, go with writing. And when you are actually writing stuff, try to convey those things that you actually wrote in a social media post via video, while making a video. Okay, a 30-second video, I don't think so it will be a problem for you. And while speaking, first of all, make those videos in which you can actually show your face. The text actually, you might be actually seeing such kind of reels or stories or like other people content. Like what they do is like like they are basically ASMR videos. I'm actually not wrong if that's actually the scenario. ASMR videos where they are actually just doing things and we are actually just engaged with what is actually coming up next, right? So they are voiceless. And there are some other videos as well where people are actually performing some actions. I guess they're actually known as B rolls. So you can actually have B rolls, and what you can actually do is you can actually overlay the text over that. Okay, initially you can actually do that, but side by side, what you can actually do is you can record your video too of 1 minute 30 seconds. See, you need to actually put in the effort. Okay, so you have to record your videos 30 seconds, 60 seconds, in which you can actually portray your message too. So this is the combination would be really great for you. Or else you, if you want to look into do challenges, go for that. It will be really best for you. Go for a 10-day challenge. Don't go for 30-day challenge. Okay. So where you feel comfortable, you have to be into that. Okay. And then being like you have like being in that scenario, you have to be uncomfortable again to be comfortable. Okay, so this is actually the scenario. And one more thing, don't see perfectionism. No one is actually perfect, only God is perfect. According to Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is actually perfect. So don't try to be perfect. No one is looking into kind of perfectionism in you. People are more into what's your message, how you can actually relate to them, and how you can actually solve their problems or share your message in the best way possible. Hopefully this actually this point is actually understood. Type FC in the chat box if that point is actually understood to you. Type FC in the chat box. Those who are actually online and welcome you, type FC in the chat box if that's actually F um sorry V sorry FC in the chat box. Feel comfortable. Perfect, perfect. So let's move on towards the next part. Let me actually share with you the. Okay. The third subtopic would be is like tips to find your unique voice. What are the tips that I can actually share with you to find your unique voice? Now, what I mean by unique voice, and why I actually wrote the unique voice. Can anyone actually tell? If you can actually tell, do share with me your thoughts in the comments. If you can really share with me your thoughts, like why did I actually wrote the unique voice? Okay, anyone? Okay, let me actually explain. According to me, I believe particularly every person is unique. We all have different thumbprints. We all have different date of births. We all have different tongue prints as well. Okay, so we are all built unique. Then why we need to copy others? Yeah, it's good to actually copy the framework, but why we need to actually copy other people as well? Like why we need to actually copy other people in real life scenarios? We don't have to do that stuff. What we need to do is, in order to actually find your own voice, and since you are actually unique, you need to look into what is your brand persona, what is your personality. Does your personality relates to your brand? How you can actually create the vibe in the brand? Let's suppose if you're talking about the personal brand, how you can showcase your personality to your audience, and the way you are actually showing your personality to audience, that is actually your brand. And I say every person itself is a brand. You just need to actually understand the whole framework. Okay, how you're portraying yourself, how you're presenting yourself, how you are actually crafting your message out there, that is actually the part of your brand. And the business brand story is very different. We'll not be covering that. We'll be covering just the brand overview. Okay, so that is just a scenario. Basically, it's all about your vibe, your synergy, your story, your truth, what things you believe in, how you can actually influence people. It all boils down to brand. Okay, what is actually your brand? Now, coming towards this thing, like if you need to actually identify your unique voice, and that is actually the part of your brand, how you can actually do that? First thing, define 3 brand traits. Okay, like the audience that you are actually talking to, how you can actually connect yourself with them, how you can actually do that. You are you have to understand your personality. Are you calm, deep, empowering? Are you bold, unfiltered, or honest? Are you friendly, wise, and uplifting? What's the scenario? You have to ask yourself these questions, not me. And these will be giving me the answers. Okay. This is the first tip that I can share with you. The second tip that I would likely share with you is like start with stories, not scripts. Stories. Yeah, stories are really important. Stories sell, facts tell. Facts tell, stories sell. How you're presenting your story, this is something that's really important. I hope most of you who have actually bought iPhone, you have not bought iPhone just looking to features. You have also bought iPhone based on the Steve Jobs as well. The work he actually done. And then actually the part of that phone you might be looking into the features part and the stuff. Okay, there's always a man behind the brand. You are always like people are always curious to know about the man behind the brand, and people connect with that person and then they buy. Okay, if you talk about Tesla, you're not thinking of Tesla, you are right now thinking about Elon Musk, who actually built Tesla. So personal brand is really really important. So people connect with stories, not your scripts, not what are you saying. It's all about how you're saying it and what is your story, backstory behind that. Think about film industry, what they actually do, how they connect with you in series, in movies, in dramas, how they connect with you via stories. So what is actually your brand story? What is your unique voice? What is that brand story that can help you create your unique voice for the people to inspire? If you are actually into that niche. Mine is this. I'm here to inspire. I'm here to empower. I'm here to uplift people who are actually introvert, shy, low self-esteem, low confidence, who can't even able to talk. I'm more than happy to actually help them and empower them. This is my brand voice. What's yours? Okay? Let me know in chat box. And this will be kind of an activity I will be sharing at the end. Third tip that I would like to really disclose with you is repeat what resonates. Now, this is something really important. Whenever you are actually posting online, whenever you're actually showcasing your stuff online, you have to actually understand this fact that frameworks do work, but as per the audience, if I talk about that, things are very different. My audience is totally different. Your audience is totally different. Another person's audience is totally different. Now, how I'm actually saying different because it boils down to the point of positioning, and that actually comes to the point of niche clarity as well. So, how anyone is positioning his message is really, really important. It really depends upon the audience. Okay, so you need to really look into that stuff. And further on, if we talk about this one, is you have whenever you're actually posting, you have continuously have to check the data analysis. What posts get comments or DMs? What do people quote back to you? Like what they said to you afterwards when they saw your post. What they said to you afterwards. You have to actually look into that stuff. And if I talk about what feels good to say are right, what is actually connecting with your audience, we have to actually look into that stuff. Basically, the theme is what is actually working, what is not working. Okay, it's a testing thing as well. While you are actually writing up the content and posting online, you have to please see continuously that what is actually working and what is not working, and how I can actually improve my content much better than before. So if you are actually doing that stuff, we'll be rocking numbers. Okay. So this is something really important. Now, what is actually the activity? Comes the activity part. What do you need to do? Excited? Let me know excited in the chat box if you're actually excited. So the activity is really simple, and it's like you have to describe your persona. Like drop me 3 words that describe how you want people to find to feel when they hear or read you. You have to drop 3 words that describe how you want people to feel when they hear or read you. जब आपको कोई भी पर्सन उस लिहाज से सुने या पढ़े, तो आप कैसा फील कराना चाह रहे हो उनको? Write 3 words regarding that. Okay, to match the vibe. So I hope this session was really valuable for you, and I hope you actually gained clarity out of it. Do check out, join my wait list of the free guide that I created. This is a 7-step checklist, confidence building checklist. If you are actually an introvert and introvert entrepreneur, if you're more into kind of building confidence, having issues with confidence, this free guide will be helping you out, and really valuable stuff inside I put in. So it actually took me weeks, by the way. So what you can actually do is I will be sharing the link in the post. You can actually join the waitlist, and can't wait to actually see you tuning in for the book for the free guide launch that will be happening on the 2nd June. So wish you all the best. If you find this content valuable, do let me know in the chat box. If you're having sort of queries or questions, you can totally ask. More than happy to help you. My DMs are open as well. You can actually share your questions over there if you're not comfortable writing the comments, and do the activity too, so that I can actually see that as well. So wish you all the best. Take care. Thank you very much for listening me. I appreciate that.